Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Iraqi Dinar Hub *. I'm Armagan, and today, we have some intriguing and intense developments unfolding in Iraq's financial landscape. Trust me, you won't want to miss this, as the pressure is mounting, and significant changes seem to be on the horizon. So, let's dive right in. One of the most pressing questions on many minds lately revolves around what's happening behind the scenes in Iraq's economy. Recently, Prime Minister al-Sudani sent a strong and deliberate message to former U.S. President Donald Trump, reaffirming Iraq's commitment to strengthening its strategic relations with the United States. He underscored Iraq's desire to cultivate cooperation based on mutual respect, sovereignty, and non-interference, while also emphasizing the country's aspirations to deepen its relationship with the U.S. under the Strategic Agreement framework, ensuring that both nations benefit from shared interests. This, of course, is crucial not only for Iraq's financial and economic stability but also for regional and global security. However, what makes this situation even more interesting is Trump's bold response, which left little room for ambiguity. He presented Iraq with a decisive ultimatum: either the country facilitates the export of Kurdistan's oil or risks facing sanctions similar to those imposed on Iran. Trump made it clear that a plan is in place, and there is a way to get the oil flowing, implying that the U.S. is closely monitoring Iraq's next steps. This situation has placed considerable pressure on Iraq, potentially forcing the government to adhere to specific economic reforms. The stakes are high, and for many observers, this moment could mark a turning point that accelerates Iraq's path toward economic restructuring. While this may seem daunting, it could also be an indication that Iraq is on the verge of meaningful financial change. The level of anticipation is palpable. Liquidity is moving, money is being prepared, and individuals are securing banking appointments, with some even opening new accounts. This time, the momentum feels different, and there's a strong sense that something significant is about to unfold. On that note, have you ever stopped to truly analyze what so-called economic experts discuss when they appear on television to talk about Iraq's financial situation? Just recently, I listened to one such expert, who spent nearly 20 minutes dissecting the Iraqi dinar's exchange rate. What particularly caught my attention was his reminder that, not too long ago, the dinar once held a remarkable value of $3.30 per unit. That figure is more than just a historical reference, it's a symbol of possibility, a number that fuels hope among Iraqis and investors alike, reigniting discussions about whether the currency could one day return to that level. But what's happening on the ground? Recently, there has been a surge in commercials promoting national bonds, urging citizens to exchange their high-denomination banknotes such as the 25,000, 10,000, and 5,000 dinar bills, many of which are being hoarded. This initiative appears to be an attempt by the government to reduce the volume of physical cash in circulation, tightening its control over monetary transactions while ensuring that financial activities are more easily monitored and regulated. But why bonds? Essentially, purchasing a national bond is akin to investing in the country's financial system. When citizens exchange their banknotes for bonds, they are essentially lending money to the government, which, in turn, promises to return the investment with added interest over time. While this initiative may seem like a straightforward way to manage cash flow, one cannot ignore the possibility that there is a much deeper strategy at play. Could this be part of a larger effort to transition into a restructured financial system? Is it an attempt to stabilize the currency before a major shift takes place? These are the questions worth asking. And speaking of the dinar's value, the $3.30 benchmark isn't just a random number. For many Iraqis, it represents optimism, a glimpse of what could be achieved if the right economic policies are implemented. However, reaching that valuation would require substantial financial restructuring, economic growth, and global market confidence in Iraq's monetary policies. If the government is actively encouraging citizens to exchange their large banknotes for bonds, it might be laying the groundwork for a broader shift in the financial landscape. For the average citizen, this is about more than just numbers. It's about placing trust in the government's economic direction. These moves could influence employment opportunities, affect the purchasing power of everyday Iraqis, and even reshape the cost of living. Whether people realize it or not, These shifts in economic policies will have a direct impact on their daily lives. So, what should we, as everyday citizens, do in response? First and foremost, staying informed is crucial. Keeping track of exchange rate updates and closely monitoring government policies can provide valuable insights into potential financial shifts. Secondly, consulting with financial advisors is highly recommended. Everyone's financial situation is unique, and making informed decisions is critical before taking any action, whether that involves converting old banknotes, investing in bonds, or making other financial commitments. Thirdly, engaging in discussions within the community can provide fresh perspectives and help people make well-rounded decisions. Conversations with friends, family members, and fellow investors can often shed light on aspects that may not have been previously considered. However, one crucial piece of advice: do not rush. Whether it's exchanging high-denomination banknotes or investing in national bonds, these are significant financial choices that should not be made impulsively. This is not a sprint. It's a long-term financial transformation that requires careful thought and strategic planning. Another major topic of discussion is the concept of a floating exchange rate and its potential impact on Iraq's currency. Many people are curious about what a float actually means and why it's important. In simple terms, a floating exchange rate is a mechanism that allows currency values to adjust within a controlled range, preventing excessive volatility. Unlike a fixed exchange rate system, where one currency is pegged to another, a floating system allows for gradual fluctuations based on market demand and economic conditions. One key element of this system is the 2% rule, which means that if a currency fluctuates beyond a 2% margin, central banks intervene to stabilize it. This regulation is in place to prevent sudden market shocks and ensure that the currency remains relatively stable. A great example of this is when central banks adjust interest rates or engage in currency buying or selling to keep exchange rates within acceptable limits. This approach prevents unpredictable currency swings that could disrupt businesses, international trade, and financial planning. What makes this system particularly beneficial is that it encourages long-term economic stability. By allowing controlled fluctuations, businesses can better predict costs, and consumers gain a greater sense of financial security. However, this doesn't mean that floating currencies are immune to change. Over time, values can still shift significantly based on economic conditions. So, how does all of this relate to Iraq? The government's recent moves to absorb high-denomination notes through bond exchanges might be a signal that they are preparing for an eventual transition. Whether or not this leads to an increase in the dinar's value remains to be seen, but it is undeniable that significant financial changes are underway. The real question now is, will these changes be for the better? Only time will reveal the true impact of these developments, but one thing is clear: citizens have an essential role to play in shaping Iraq's economic future. What do you think about this push for national bonds? Are you considering exchanging your large notes, or are you holding out for a potential shift in the dinar's valuation? Do you believe Iraq's currency could ever return to its historical $3.30 rate? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this discussion going. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay informed on all the latest updates surrounding Iraq's economy and the Iraqi dinar. I look forward to hearing your insights. This is MarkZ, signing off. Stay informed and stay engaged.